Hi, I'm Elise Morales.
And I'm Millie Tamaris.
And this is
Go Touch Grass,
the podcast where we log in.
so you can log off.
Millie and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can go do literally anything else with your time.
And if you like what you hear today and want to hear more, we got to Go Touch Grass Patreon with tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community, and our spin-off series, Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past or from the present, because this week our Patreon is about the bricks and minifigs saga.
Yeah.
We're talking Mormon Lego fans.
Yeah.
We're talking police have been involved. There's a guy
An injustice has been done.
An injustice has been done in the Lego community.
Valuable Star Wars Legos have been stolen.
Valuable Star Wars Legos have been stolen. And there's an investigative YouTuber who looks like Napoleon Dynamite with abs, and Elise said he would fuck him. So that's the important, groundbreaking journalism.
And yeah, his name is Reckless Ben.
Yeah.
I think Reckless Ben is hot.
Yeah. Sue me.
Sue me.
Sue me. Sue me.
Sue me, I like Reckless Ben. Just saw Audrey Hobart in D.C., so.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, you can see us on our YouTube channel where Elise will tell us more
about Reckless Ben.
YouTube channel.
If you watch our YouTube channel, you can see pictures of Reckless Ben.
No, they can't, because that's on Patreon.
Yeah, but then we're talking about him now.
Oh, okay,
so now
so
for
we'll
this
put up
part
picture,
of the YouTube, we could see pictures of Reckless Ben.
Okay, now we're going to make Steven pull up pictures of Reckless Ben.
Now, editor's note, can we get like a couple hundred pics of Reckless Ben?
And then editor's note, Steven, creatively, I want to know if you would fuck Reckless Ben. Add that note too on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe we'll do a poll on who would fuck Reckless Ben or not.
All of it's happening on the YouTube, you guys.
Yeah.
So you gotta check us out on YouTube. And be sure to check out GoTouchGrassPodcast.com for all things Grass Nation. Okay.
Our guest today is hilarious comedian who I met in Denver, used to be Denver-based, now New York-based, thank God. You can see her touring all over the U.S. We love Denver, guys, by the way. Don't kill us.
I had a lovely time in Denver once.
I cannot anger the polyamory community again. I cannot. So I disavow my comments about Denver. But I will say this comic used to be based in Denver, now is based in New York. She's an amazing touring comedian. Everyone, give a Grass Nation welcome to Hannah Jones.
Thank you so much for having me. I am not afraid of pissing off Denver or the poly community. They are all bark and no bite in my experience.
Wow. We're starting things off. We're starting beef immediately. 100%. I love it.
And that's why you belong in New York.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We need you here. And this is such a beautiful time to be in New York.
Within the first 2 months, cherry blossom season, Knicks win a championship.
It's beautiful.
Every comedian in town is like, oh, has it gotten really hard yet? Has it gotten really hard yet? Do you want to kill yourself yet? And it's like, no.
That'll come later.
Yeah, we can't say it won't. We can't say it won't happen, but first year of Mom Donnie too. We're having fun.
100%.
But
We're
also,
having fun.
you're coming in with a different attitude than someone who's like skinning their knees and doing stuff. I think like being an adult is a hard transition in general, and if having to do that in New York can feel like hard mode, but if you've done some of this stuff already.
Well, that's what I keep thinking. Being 24 and having your first few years of comedy anywhere is like hell.
Yeah.
It's different to move somewhere at 31 and have like a good, stable income and stuff.
And also a sense of who you are. I think half of it is, the reason why it's hell is because you have no sense of who you are and what you like or anything. So
Absolutely.
You do, though, and you're clearly thriving. So
I am, hey, and zoom in, clearly thriving.
Okay, speaking of ways in which you're clearly thriving, this is something we've been asking a lot of our guests lately. What is your current internet diet? What are you seeing? What are you consuming? What is coming up on your feed? How are you engaging with social media, etc. right now?
Okay, I'm mainly a TikTok and a Twitter girl.
Twitter, old school.
Yeah, but that's where the real hard news is. I mean, you're just getting
That's just
shit
where, for me, that's the only place that stand-up comics, like my comic friends, are showing up for me.
Yeah.
On TikTok, it's a lot of like girl internet drama. It's ultimately we're still talking Amanda Batula. And
Oh, fantastic!
I don't even watch that show, to be clear.
Oh, I do.
I just hate her lip flip passionately.
I watched the reunion. I have thoughts about the bun that she wore.
The bun is bad.
The bun is really bad. The bun is really bad.
We disavow the bun.
I
Go touch grass.
Disavow the bun.
As a nation, in the United Nations,
Yeah.
Amanda Batula's bun walks in, we're walking out. We're not
Yeah,
even
exactly.
sitting and hearing. We won't condone any of that.
We won't negotiate with that.
We won't negotiate.
I'm not negotiating with that bun.
No. Devil.
Anyway, I was about to say, well, we already knew you were going to be a great guest, and that's like the perfect answer. It's like women fighting is in your algorithm. That's good.
And then a lot of like Knicks content.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, yeah, of course.
Like them kissing.
Yeah. I don't know if the virality will come as big as yet, but like there's that classic meme of when the World War II announces over and the U.S. soldiers come back and the sailors kissing.
I love referring to that as a meme.
I mean, classic photo.
I think it's awesome.
No. That is a classic photo that exists.
Yeah.
And there is now 2 random guys that climbed up a light pole for the Knicks game, and they started kissing.
Oh, and that's the meme.
So people are like, this is the new.
Okay.
But I don't know if it actually is the new sailor kissing a random lady.
Yeah.
But literally these 2 guys climbed up a pole and like hardcore made out, like hair tossling and everything, and everyone was cheering for them. And like the street sign said like Lafayette and whatever, and it was just like, it was insane.
I mean, the Knicks memes were amazing. We're going to get into, like, the cornerstone Knicks meme in a minute.
Yeah.
But I actually also like the one where they asked Cardi B what would happen if the Knicks won. And she says a bunch of stuff, but she's like, the rats will be gone, the subways will run on time, the Statue of Liberty is going to finally walk.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea that we've all been waiting for the Statue of Liberty to walk, and she just, like, needed a reason.
She needed to be free. Yeah, she needed some time off. We say it every week. Like, we call out people who don't have it, who have no social media presence, who have no savvy, like a Sydney Sweeney, no strategy behind it. But Cardi B's just got it.
I thought you were going to say the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
like the
Statue
needs
of
to
Liberty.
really get on fucking Instagram.
Well, the Statue of Liberty is Rizless.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty.
No presence.
No presence. But you know
Worse
who
than
does?
Sydney Sweeney.
You know who does have a presence? Our guest, Hannah.
Wow.
So, pivot to the question we have for Hannah. And there we go. We're a professional pod. Hannah, you built up a following on TikTok and Instagram with stand-up clips and front-facing videos with just a variety of different types of content. Was there one thing that popped off more than the other? Or was it just posting consistently that got you a big... I guess it's just like, what do you feel like your audience likes more? What do you enjoy doing? What are things that had stronger reactions that you've posted that you were kind of like unexpected by or something?
Yeah, it was definitely consistent over time, but there was an era of social media where accounts were growing a lot faster than now. And I think that I was posting consistently at a good time. And the content genre was very much like, it was like young women online making jokes about dating. It was the first time that we were as a group calling out men in a very like harsh and biting way. That then has kind of been taken over to be like like a lot of women now on social media are being like pretty mean. And it's crazy because like sometimes I'll point that out and then women will be like, but didn't you get your whole following from hating men? And I'm like, no, I got my whole following from saying that they take 45 minutes to shit. That's different. That's not hatred. That's just like, hurry it up.
That's just an observation.
Yeah.
And as if women have not had to hear their observations about us and how long it takes for us to do stuff.
Yeah.
I'll make a video about how like, oh, like men do this, men don't eat enough fiber, and then a comment will be like, this is why the male suicide rate is so high, and I'm like, whoa,
The male suicide rate is high because you get shit quickly.
Well, because about like content that I make. And
I
I'm
know,
like,
but
hey,
I'm like,
I feel like you got to toughen up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
A little
you
bit.
guys have been in the hot seat for like maybe 2 years at this point. Like maybe 2 years in the hot seat.
less.
Yeah.
We were in the hot seat for like since the beginning of time.
And we're still sitting in the hot seat. They're sharing the hot seat with us sometimes.
There's a bench of hot frying shit. It's like a food plate. Are just at the corner of the bench, and they're like, "This sucks." We're gonna hammer our face,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and break our own jaws so that
Yeah.
we can be more hot, I guess, or something. I
Oh,
don't know.
clavicular got a nose job
Nose
or something.
I know. We
I
gotta
didn't
keep
put
eyes
it
on
in.
the clavicular. It's not healed yet, so it's not.
We're not going to report on the clavicular nose job until
Until
it's
it's
healed
healed,
and we
until
can
it's
see
healed.
the
Ultimately,
photo.
it changes a lot over the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I
but
heard.
There are certain things that I'm a stickler of. Noses and like nose shit, like different. No, I'm not. That's not like a. So I'm kind of like the first nose. I didn't think his first nose was bad, and then this nose looks kind of bad. So,
I've
but
never
we don't know yet.
personally enjoyed a nose job before or after, because me personally, I think a nose with some character to it is attractive.
As a person with, I would say, like a character forward nose, I have to agree.
Yeah, of course. Noses are a big thing that cause a lot of insecurity.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, and like that's just like kind of a blind spot for me. I'm not gonna say that doesn't make a difference or something, but like, woof.
I have a lore drop, actually, an Elise Morales lore drop,
Okay.
which is that my mom got a nose job. She wouldn't be upset about me saying this.
Yeah.
She's quite proud of it. It looks great. Anyway, the point is, she got it when I was a kid, and I grew up in LA till I was 12. And I went to this Christian elementary school in Los Angeles, and my mom had been referring to the nose job as her rhinoplasty, and I didn't know what that was, but I knew that she was like gonna get surgery. So every morning at this Christian elementary school, we did like a prayer of the entire school. And so I stood up and
school, not
the
just your
entire
class?
school. And so I stood up
Well, no matter.
in the valley of Los Angeles, and I said, "Can we pray for my mom's rhinoplasty?" And everyone from children to adult laughed at me. And I had no idea why. I was like, "My mom is sick. She's getting surgery." And then when I got home, I explained it to my parents, and they were like, "Don't bring up the rhinoplasty to anyone."
That's the greatest story I've ever heard.
So that's a core memory that I have of being like, why is everyone laughing at my mom's surgery that she's getting today?
That's so good.
Okay. Just something to share.
Well,
Okay,
thank
speaking
you for coming on our show, Hannah.
Hannah, now you kind of know a really core thing about me, which is that happened to me at a very young age. But okay, speaking of the things that people know, I don't know. I don't have a good one for this. We should start the show, though, is what I'm getting into.
We
is
did not start the show yet? I've been dropping gold this whole time.
The show has started.
We should
the
show the
segments.
Yes, we should
We're
start the
getting into
informational.
We're doing the opening. We did the guest questions that somehow turned into core trauma. Of
Yeah.
course, your mom don't care if you say it on the podcast.
No.
There's like less.
No, Deb's so far beyond
Deb's
the
you've
rhinoplasty
embarrassed
issue.
her so many other times and
Yeah.
other ways.
It's well beyond the rhinoplasty at this
Well
point.
beyond the right.
But I did mention we're going to talk about a tentpole meme in honor of the Knicks. This is our first podcast recording since the Knicks won the NBA Finals for the first time in 53 years over the weekend. Huge. I got into the Knicks exactly 3 games ago. It was amazing. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I got into the Knicks like I would say just a few games before.
Yeah.
But the Knicks are a fourth quarter team.
Yeah.
They're
really
gonna win, but you're gonna be on the, and I mean, what better way than
awesome.
New York than like just shitting your pants until the last second every single time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was a great experience. I love basketball now. But I did want to take time to honor what I would say is probably like the biggest meme of this entire Knicks
So far.
championship season so far.
I
yeah.
think the parade's gonna be crazy.
We'll
some
get
meme out of
to the parade.
parades.
We'll get to the parade. But for anyone who hasn't heard, basically this meme started when 23-year-old MD Anaf Hossein said this after the Knicks beat the Spurs in Game 2 of the NBA Finals.
My mayor Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian Dior, Knicks.
So that was video number 1 for anyone who didn't get it. He says, my mayor's Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian Dior, Knicks in 4. Knicks in blank, it basically means like the Knicks in however many games it takes them to win, like which game they win on, basically.
So the way the finals work is that it's a series of the best team has to win 4 games.
Yeah.
So they'll play up to as many games as it takes for one team to win. So that's why if they won every single game, that's why they say Knicks in 4.
Yeah.
But they lost one game.
Yeah,
so that's why it's Knicks in 5, because that
Your
means
audience is very queer. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, we have to explain.
Well, it's not even queer. It's just you just don't know anything about sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we're the ones explaining sports to
I did
our
not
audience.
know. When I was hanging out, I had a friend who was over, and I was like, I don't understand things like goaltending. I don't understand things like which kind of fouls do what.
You know,
but I was explaining to her, like, the difference between a 2-point and a 3-point shot. It was crazy.
Somebody didn't know what sport the
Yeah.
finals the Knicks played in. Those were the people coming to the parties that I were going to.
Hell yeah.
Didn't know what sport the Knicks were in. Have no idea how finals work.
I understood what Knicks in 4 meant, even though I wasn't a huge basketball fan, just because I know that, like, it goes to 7 games potentially, and, like, you have to win whatever. But the conceit of this podcast is that we lay it all out for you. You can come in with nothing. And so Knicks in 4 means Knicks in 4 games, which would have been if they had won every single game initially. As Millie said, that did not happen because they lost Game 3 because Trump was there.
Yes.
And we all know that.
We all know it was because of Trump.
How do we know that? Because the next day, there was a viral video of a guy saging Madison Square Garden. And what happened that night? The Knicks have the greatest comeback in the history of the NBA Finals.
29-point comeback.
So could that have happened without that one guy saging Madison Square Garden? We'll never know.
A few people were saging. I think it was a collective sage.
There was, multiple people saging Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
Could it have happened otherwise?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if it could. But either way, because of that, the chant then had to change to Knicks in 5. And I feel like it took a couple days for us to get the new chant. People were kind of like tentatively pitching things, but it had to come from MD Hossein, I think, for it to be official.
Here's my thing, Elise.
Yeah.
I think that people were tweeting this and then MD Hussein is saying it. I don't know if he's originally coming up
So
with
that
this
is the
thing.
thing, like
He's not.
the construction of it, like, is something that has been tweeted around in general. Like, the video that we watched is just someone coming up to him and putting a mic in his face, and he, like, says it in a very fun way. But it had been tweeted before.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the person coming up with him, but I do think that whatever the official next chant was, did have to be
through this guy.
Yeah, it had to be through the vessel of him because he was the guy who brought it to wider knowledge, etc. So this is what we get for the second one.
My mayor's still Muslim. Yeah. My bagel's still Jewish. Yeah. The Pope's on our side. Knicks in 5.
Okay, there we go. That's number 2.
Wait, what did he say for the third line?
So it's my mayor's still Muslim, my bagel's still Jewish, the Pope's on our side, Knicks in 5.
I hadn't even seen that.
Because I guess Chicago Pope expressed an affinity for the Knicks.
A lot of the 3, this is my understanding of it. The story of the 3 Knicks players is that they used to play together at Villanova.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
Went to Villanova.
Right.
And basically, Jalen could have gotten more money if he went to another team, but he took the pay cut, and he's like, no, I'm going to build something with these guys. He famously took a $113 million pay cut to play with his Villanova friends. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they won, like, of course, the Pope's on our side.
Great. Okay. So that became the next one. Do we think that one's as good as Knicks in 4?
Well, he's wearing a Kalshi jersey in this, so I can't respect him.
Both were Kalshi. Both
Okay.
of the iconic clips were
Yeah, you see
sponsored
like
by
a Kalshi robot in the back of the first
Yeah.
one or something. So it is unclear what Kalshi's involvement in
they're paying
these
this kid,
clips
They made the
are.
content,
They,
the
did they
original.
put it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, yeah. So it is like Kalshi related. I don't know if they prepped him before. That's what I mean. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like Kalshi was just out hosting an event
Yeah.
and he was at the Kalshi event and happened to say this funny
No,
thing.
they were doing man on the street content
Okay.
to just advertise for Kalshi, and they got like an iconic man on the street moment
Batula.
for that
Okay.
first time.
Yeah, but it wasn't like they fed him the line.
No.
He
No.
said it organically. Okay, that's what I was meaning.
And it blew up like very organically
Yeah.
ultimately too.
But, how organic is it if it's preordained by a brand? Who knows? But still, the first time I think hit. The second time for me, I don't know. It wasn't as strong, but it's hard to rhyme with. We already had a different rhyme construction.
It's a no for me, and also because me being a Twitter girl, this was tweeted by like every person on Twitter, which is the president's unfortunately still alive. Nixon 5, that's a cleaner rhyme. Obviously, Kalshi is not going to put it out there.
Yeah.
If he were to say that, that's not going to fit with their brand. So it just, but that's the tweets that were doing the best, was everybody independently coming up with that very obvious rhyme. That's what I tweeted.
Yeah, but to push back for our man, they want what he wanted was the construction of like Muslim, Jewish, Christian thing.
Yeah.
So then it's like our Christian Dior. Obviously, that's not actually religious, but like it's fun. So I
Yeah.
think the reason he went with Pope is so that it's like Muslim, Jewish, Christian.
Yeah.
Or
All-
Catholic. Well,
All of
Pope
the
is
I guess
Catholic.
Catholic specifically.
Yeah. So the third rhyme, so Donald Trump being dead wouldn't have worked overall because it's not evoking the third religion that the first.
I mean, in a
religion-
way, I
yeah.
guess if we want to dig into it, he is a Christian figure in certain circles.
I mean, maybe the Antichrist.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
like,
I mean, he represents a certain
Level,
subsect
yeah.
of the religious right,
pedophi- yeah,
etc., whatever. But I think that's why he said Pope.
Don't clip this clip of
Yeah,
us calling
don't-
Donald Trump a pedophile.
bleep
We
it
cannot
all.
be shadow banned again.
We can't keep being shadow banned.
We can't keep being shadow banned.
Okay, so as we know, the Knicks won.
Yes.
Right? Knicks won. So the only video that I could find of him reacting to the win, because I was like, well, somebody had to find him, right? There are now multiple articles, New York Times, Washington Post, everybody's talking
I'm sure
to
he
this
can
guy.
come on Go Touch Grass.
MD?
MD, come on the pod.
MD, come on the pod.
MD,
We-
come to Gowanus.
Come to Gowanus. We would like to talk to you, and we want to know exactly Kalshi's involvement
Yeah.
and your thought process and where you sourced your rhymes.
And MD, you got a tough act to follow because we had Hannah Jones the week
Exactly.
before. So
Exactly.
Well, we got Hannah Jones, and next week we got another Jones. We
Yeah.
can't drop, but
We
I
can't
don't want to
say.
say because sometimes people drop
What?
or forget our pod.
Yeah, it's
Straight up
happened.
forget our pod. Forget our pod was ever recording. That happens too, so we don't want
It
to.
happens. It happens. But anyway, so this is the only article that I could find of him.
Hannah's looking like, what is going on?
Well, no, I just don't want a direct comparison with another much more famous guest.
No.
Then
No.
you'll discover how little clout I have.
No.
Well, no, MD.
Don't worry.
You don't want to. You think you're less famous than MD?
Yes, distinctly. Yes, by a lot.
I don't
Not
think so.
even a question. That's
No,
crazy.
no.
You've
Then
never
MD?
been more wrong.
Then the guy who said Nixon 5.
Yes. Yes.
The Nixon 5
Why
guy
don't we take a picture of me and a picture of him and go out on the street right now and find out which one they recognize?
See, but your measure of fame, I'm thinking, who's going to sell tickets?
Exactly. That's what
And
I'm
he's not
saying.
gonna sell tickets.
100%
What is he
him.
going to
So
do
what?
for an hour? He's repeating tweets.
No, not doing an hour of comedy, just his face on the flyer. People are going to be like, what's he doing?
I think he could
No.
appear at events probably for like a little while, but I think you have more staying power. I think the
Yes.
people who follow you actually know your name. I think
Yes.
people will know him as like the Nixon 4, Nixon 5 guy, but
Guy.
they don't know his name.
No.
If they're not listening to their Go Touch Grass as they should be, they wouldn't know that his name is MD
Yeah.
Anaf Hossein.
Yeah.
That's fair.
No
They
one's
wouldn't
gonna
know.
pick that up. Hannah, you need to give yourself more credit.
Yeah.
I think the MD wants to be you. MD's like, how do I
Yeah.
get to Hannah Jones?
Yeah.
How do I leave the Denver comedy scene for greener pastures in New York City?
Yeah. I think so.
That's-
I think that the thing is like, yeah, maybe right now his Google trend is higher than Hannah Jones in this exact moment. But how long does that last?
How long
does that last?
And listen, you're talking to two people who, that's all the fuck we talk about is how long this lasts.
And I'll tell you, not a huge amount.
Not long.
Not a huge amount.
Clavicular's having to do some shit every week to stay on.
Yeah.
And to stay on it. He's even getting arrested, shooting alligators, getting a nose job, injecting GLP-1s in a girl's face. That's what he has to do.
So
you're
much.
not doing any of that. And
no,
you're still
and you're
pushing
coasting
tickets.
and you're touring and you're doing great and you're here on Go Touch Grass.
And you're playing Go Touch
That's
Grass.
true.
So you fucking made it, bitch.
You made it. Anyway, here's this fucking video. So this is the only video I could find of him celebrating the win. So he's like showing the number 5, but he doesn't do a rhyme. It's just him celebrating.
He can't come off top of the dome like you can, Hannah.
That's the thing, Hannah. You would have had a rhyme ready. Oh, no, wait. Does he have one? Okay, no, he does have one.
Where are they? In a hotel?
Okay, that's not a rhyme, though.
No.
So he didn't have a rhyme.
No, he didn't. I was waiting for him. He interrupted everyone celebrating to say we're the city of champions.
Right.
You would have took that opportunity to really flip it again.
You would have had a rhyme ready, Hannah.
You would have had a rhyme ready.
Thank you so much.
And I don't want to come for this kid. He's just a fan.
He's 23.
He's 23. He's not pursuing a career in entertainment like us. He doesn't know he was thrust into the spotlight by an evil entity, it seems.
And a robot.
So whatever
An
God
evil
bless
gambling
him,
robot.
An evil gambling robot that's here to destroy your dad.
Yeah.
They're here to ruin your dad.
Yeah.
But I was a little surprised that he didn't have a rhyme at the ready.
Third rhyme?
Yeah.
I just feel like he already said Knicks in 5, so it should be.
It would have to be the
you
third.
Prepped, you gotta be like AP News and prep a rhyme for good. Like if they win or they lose, then you gotta come up with a Knicks in sick or like we did it rhyme. Come on, dog.
Yeah, he had to find something in the cadence. So I think that is strange, but I said put a pin in the ticker tape parade. Mm-hmm. Here's my question for you as we round this out. Do we think he is one at the ticker tape parade?
Absolutely.
And number 2, perhaps do we get the new rhyme at the ticker tape parade?
Yeah, but it's going to be something that's been tweeted 80 times, and
Yeah.
it is going to be sponsored by Kalshi. That's my prediction.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, who plans the parade? Does Mom Donnie plan
Mom
the
Donnie
parade?
plans the parade, and he has done like some TikToks and stuff with this sound, so he's definitely aware of it. And it is, yeah, the city puts on the parade, so I don't know if Calci can he might wear this Calci sponsored jersey that he has because the jersey he's wearing says Calci on it, but I don't know if Calci even could sponsor the parade because I think it is a city endeavor.
I think Kalshi's going to do a man on the street from
Yes.
the parade. He's going to be in it. He's going to say a rhyme that already came out on Twitter. I love MD. He don't got it like that.
Okay. I mean,
That's
I
my
think that's a
prediction.
fair prediction. I think we could see him on a float.
I don't know how many floats. I think, isn't there just the one float with all the players?
You know,
It's
I don't
not
know.
like
I've never
Pride.
been. I've never been.
I think it's just like one float because it's just the players.
Okay. Well, if it's one float, then no. I don't think
exactly.
he's on the float.
No, because like the Gay Pride Parade is like all these different organizations coming. So there's hundreds of floats. When a team wins, I think there's just one float, and it's literally the team on a bus that goes through the parade route, and all the fans are waving.
Okay, then I think I stand with Millie's prediction. He's in the crowd with Calci, and he's gonna unveil a final.
It doesn't seem like Zoran's style to play into this that we now know is like a Kalshi sponsored.
I mean, he has been doing videos with it. He's done
With
like
the
a couple,
sound,
yeah, but
because
not
it's
him.
a viral sound. But
Yeah.
I think like going to trouble to like get the guy
Yeah.
in it is just like it's more of a brand style than it is his style.
I agree.
I think he'll have more interesting guests there.
Yeah.
Kalshi might get the lowest paid team member of the Knicks to do a thing with MD.
Who's the lowest paid team member of the Knicks?
See, but we don't know. 'Cause
Oh,
this
well,
is
there's
not
that one reserve guy. There's a white guy on reserve who is well dressed.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and
So
there's a
they'll
whole
get the
thing.
white guy.
The well-dressed white guy who doesn't play unless the Knicks are up by like a lot. I learned about him recently. He's very handsome,
Yeah.
very well dressed.
That's the one Knicks player that Fox News is like, this guy's respectable.
Yeah.
I don't know about all the other players. There's something wrong with them, but this
Yeah.
white guy who plays 1 minute every 3 games.
Okay, so are we
He's
putting
great.
an official are we betting on Kalshi that
Yeah,
this is
we're
our
betting
official
on
Kalshi
Kalshi.
bet is that MD is at the parade in a Kalshi sponsored something, and then we'll add to that he does content with the white Knicks guy who doesn't play.
Once you said Kamala Harris was going on Call Her Daddy and it happened, we can't doubt anything.
Yeah, we can't doubt anything. Actually, talking about predictions on the pod brings us to our next topic. We have a software update. Software update is our segment where we update the people on something we've talked about on the pod before. This is something we've been tracking for a while, and now the story has ended. It's come to a close. Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater have broken up.
Yeah.
Have you followed the Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater at
Yeah.
all? Yeah, it's impossible not to. It's
What
impossible
the
not
hell?
What the hell?
to. It's impossible
What
not
the hell?
to. Yeah, we've been following it since they first got together. Shortly after that, the first time we talked about it was with Josh Laura, who
Yes.
does a very popular series on TikTok called American Cheating, where he talks about celebrities who got together via cheating and how the media will then help them launder their image into it's actually a love story.
I love him.
The best.
We also talked about Dominican cheating on that episode. Is when
Which
no
is
one
a
says
different
anything,
thing.
and then a bottle of hot grease gets thrown on someone.
It's a different situation.
Kind of societal effect with cheating. Yeah.
So we tracked that since they first got together. Then we did predict that we thought they were going to get engaged around the Wicked Part 2 press tour. That ultimately didn't come to pass. But I think it was a good guess.
You got to remember that news cycle where, like, people were like, guys, they're so in love. Like, they love each other. They're partners. They're finally, blah, blah, blah. I thought that they were, and of course he left his baby
Yeah.
for Miss Ariana.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought that it could happen just because the American cheating of it all. Like, what better way for them to show, like, no, it was actually good that we did this than for them to be like, now we're getting married. We're the ones who are in love. But that didn't happen. Then we talked about them a few months ago, maybe like 6 months ago or so, when there were rumors that they had broken up.
Around Wicked 2.
Around Wicked 2, now it's official. They have broken up. There was a source in People, which means it came from both
one
of
of their
their
camps,
teams or both together or whatever, that said, it's amicable. They gave lots of time and careful consideration and decided to go their separate ways. They are still friends and very supportive of one another. They have been quietly broken up for several months. So I wonder if that reporting from the last time we talked about them, if there was a little more truth to that than we realized. Because we had to come back and say, I guess we were wrong. They're back together.
Well,
but now it's like maybe they were on the rocks.
Well, if they broke up around the Wicked 2 premiere and they announced it, every press thing will be about their breakup and not about how great of a movie
For
Wicked
good. And not about the for good of it all. Yeah, so, I mean, we'll never know the true timeline, but we do know that they are broken up now, and Ariana Grande is currently on her Eternal Sunshine Tour. She's releasing her new album July 31st. Side note, editor's note, we're going to now take a second for everyone to go around and say their unfiltered thoughts about whether or not Ariana Grande has an eating disorder, and then we're going to pull it out and I'll paywall it for $1,000.
If you want to hear, thank you, Elisa. Glad you brought it up. If you want to hear us and our unfiltered takes on whether or not Ariana Grande has an eating disorder,
which some people are saying we're not saying anything.
We're not saying anything.
For under 1K, we're not saying a word.
But behind a paywall, we'll say what we think about whether or not this woman has an eating disorder.
Yeah, we'll say it. Paywalled. Anyway,
after you give us $1,000.
Great. Anyway, pause for that, and we're back. So
I cannot believe what you guys just said.
Yeah.
That was insane.
We will. You know what? We have to address discourses that are happening, but we don't have to go on mic on the free feed about all of them.
No. Certainly not.
No.
So we'll just acknowledge that's a conversation.
That's a conversation that's paywalled. And thank you to our Patreon subscribers at the $1,000 level. You can pay us $1,000 to hear us talk about Ariana Grande's not eating disorder.
Or, we don't know. We don't know. As far as the preview is concerned, we don't know.
Can we just take a second to really think about and really visualize the next time that, God willing, Ariana has like a full meal, meat, cheese, bread, everything.
Wow.
And then someone says, hey, remember when you dated this guy? Pulls up the SpongeBob picture. What do you think goes through her mind in that moment?
I feel like Ethan Slater is already a distant memory to Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
I feel like that entire thing, I think that was all part of her Glindification.
Yeah.
And now that she's shed Glinda, she's shed him.
She is someone who gets transformed by these eras, like, and when she's experimenting more with hip hop, she's dating Mac, you know, and yeah, this was her musical theater-y era. So she's gonna get with the straight guy in the musical theater who is good. Involved with Wicked was Ethan Slater.
I will say, she has a remarkable spiritual power to pull.
Yeah.
She has an incredible power that supersedes all known physical entities. And because she has that power, I wish it was Jonathan Bailey. I wish she could have done it. I would have given anything.
She converted him to straight.
To see Positions era Ariana Grande with Jonathan Bailey. Oh my God.
Frankie Grande would never forgive her if she turned Jonathan Bailey straight.
And fuck him.
Yeah. But
I'm willing for him to be collateral damage.
Yeah, but he does look, speaking of fuck Frankie Grande, kind of looks like Ethan Slater.
That's been a common meme.
Yeah.
Since this news came out, one of the common memes, to your point, is just people being like, beware, Ariana Grande is single again. No man in a relationship is safe. It doesn't matter if you think your man is ugly. It doesn't matter if you think he's kind of weird. If she wants him, she's going to take him. It's like, ladies, high alert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I saw that a bunch. And then I just saw a lot of people. So Ethan Slater's ex-wife is this woman, Dr. Lily J. She wrote that essay in The Cut about what it was like to have to deal with all of this. It was called, like, How Does My Divorce Make You Feel?
Yeah.
She's sort of the people's Anna Marie Tendler, if you
Yes,
will.
yeah,
No,
a little bit.
she's a family therapist. Do not insult Dr. Lily J.
But that's why she's the
Miss
people's
Anna
Anna
Marie.
Marie
She's the
Tendler.
people's.
That's why she's the people's, because she's like a real person with a job and like all of that stuff, whereas Anna Marie has, you know, she makes
lamps.
lamps.
Yeah, I'm like,
So
don't be putting Dr. Lily J. Lily J's a child psychologist for people with, like,
The people!
for the
Exactly,
people.
for the people! The people's.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this real quick, and this is a quick aside before we get to the main topic. But this is what I'll say, right? Okay, Dr. Lily J. Yeah, she almost died in childbirth. She gave this fucking SpongeBob. I think she held it down financially for Ethan Slater while he was getting his Broadway career, like whatever childhood. I understand. Actually, I do want to hear an essay about how your baby daddy left you for Ariana Grande. The girl that I'm having trouble with is Caleb Turner's ex, who was on a podcast upset that Caleb Turner left her for Dua Lipa. And it's like, girl, you're going to have to charge it to the game. You don't have kids. Like, if anybody's... That's another thing where it's like, if Dua Lipa took my man and they got married, you have to charge it to the game.
Was he married to the other
He
one?
wasn't married.
No,
I think he
then
was
yeah, it
dating,
doesn't count.
He was...
I mean, it counts emotionally for her, but it's not a
something
Dr.
I would
Lily J.
podcast about.
Yeah.
I will say, and this
Would you
does set
podcast
me
about
apart
it?
about the fact that I used to date Callum Turner. Absolutely.
No. That Callum Turner left you for Dua Lipa.
Absolutely, because every time my ex has fucked a bitch that's hotter than me, I'm like, yep, me and her, same league. me and
is
her, it's
true.
like looking in a mirror.
It is a PSA to
It's
be like,
crazy how I
This is
immediately
the
just be like,
genre.
okay, so that's the league I'm running in, so I'm just as hot as her. Next time I see her, I'm gonna be like, isn't it crazy how we look the same?
Yeah.
And her jaw's gonna drop.
that's actually
That's a
so
good
funny.
and that's a healthy perspective.
That's a healthy
why
perspective.
you got it.
And also,
doesn't.
women, that's why you shouldn't be dating down, because if you don't respect the looks of his exes, you know that you're in that category officially.
I don't
like,
know
that's
though.
your
There
category.
is something good about being a guy's first baddie.
Yeah, there is something
There
nice
is
about
something
that.
nice about being a guy's first baddie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He appreciates it more.
Yeah.
He does not appreciate it more. What are you talking about?
I'm saying baddie, not ugly person. I'm saying a baddie who like there's a baddie and then there's a...
I personally believe that human attraction is widely varied, and I don't really believe in like the number ranking system, but I will say that like I think the second that a man gets with a woman who he previously might have thought was out of his league, he's like, okay, that's the league I'm playing in. That's how everybody thinks. I don't think he has extra appreciation. I think that whether or not he shows appreciation in that relationship is based on whether he's a self-actualized caring partner.
Okay, I mean, I do think that that's true. It's like he has to be a good person.
I've seen many a baddie mistreated. I'm a comedian. I hang out with dogs who date models, and I have seen them cheat on those models with other models.
That's a different thing. I guess I'm just talking about, if we're talking about genres or like maybe produce or something, like women are objects. So women, I'm just saying, if
women are fruit. We've established this a long time ago.
Yeah,
every
fruit.
woman's a fruit.
So it's like if he's dating usually apples and he gets like a guava all of a sudden, that is to be the first guava. There's something cool.
If he's self-actualized and a nice person.
This is all under the premise of he's being self-actualized,
well, if you find a man who's self-actualized, let me know.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
There's also that.
We're not going to find it.
All right. I think I can move us to our next topic.
Right.
Speaking of self-actualized
speaking of men who I would say are not self-actualized at all and actually are causing a lot of problems for their partner, who's also involved in her own problems. Anyway, we're going to get into it. We're talking today about another topic that we've been tracking for a while. We are discussing Alex Cooper's Unwell network. Yeah. So there's a lot of recurring themes in this episode, and one of them is predictions on our pod. And in our Meredith Lynch guest hosting episode, she said, when we were talking about some of these things, that some more was going to come out about Alex Cooper's Unwell network. And the more that she was talking about has come out. So today, for our discourse, which is our main section of the pod where we talk about something everybody's talking about, we are discussing a Vanity Fair article released June 12th titled Daddy Issues, Behind the Scenes of Alex Cooper's Unwell Media Empire. Have you guys read or seen this article? Millie, I know you have.
Yes.
No, part of me thought I should because it might be a topic in the pod. And then I was like, but I don't know what they're going to pick.
It's okay. We're going to go over all of it.
So we've talked about Elise's getting a prayer group for her mom. You don't know what we're going to say.
We can talk about anything.
You can't really prep for us. You just got to come on the ride.
We're going to go through it all. You probably have like the broad strokes of a lot of it.
I'm up to date. And I have all the TikTok updates, basically.
Okay, fantastic. For our listeners, we have multiple episodes that go into detail about this, but we talked about Cooper before. She's the host of the Call Her Daddy podcast, and we talked about her earlier this year because of her beef with influencer Alex Earle, who was at one point on Cooper's then newly formed Unwell podcast network. Alex Earle is no longer on the network. There's drama. That's detailed in that episode. Go back and listen. We've got that for you, okay? Then we talked about it again on the episode I co-hosted with Meredith Lynch because more information started to come out about Alex Cooper's husband/business partner, Matt Kaplan, who is, if you watch the Alex Cooper documentary, he's definitely presented as like the perfect partner for her. They are in business together. Alex Cooper obviously is like the face, the CEO of Unwell. But Matt Kaplan is like, it seems like equally powerful, just not the face of it.
Yeah, he's not the face, but he's a closer. He's a producer. He produced To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Yes, that's his he was a Hollywood producer first. And that's his big like thing that he worked on is To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is so funny. So, the gist of this article, basically, Alex Cooper is a mean girl, Matt Kaplan is nuts, and Unwell brands itself as this feminist network, but behind the scenes, it's not. It's like a classic girl boss takedown genre, I feel like, I'm trying to think of the really famous ones. The Wing, Nasty Gal, I feel like got one of those. It's like one of those things where it's like, oh, you think this brand is feminist? actually, it's just a evil corporation all the same.
I love the idea of, oh, you think this brand is feminist? To me, is like so much. We taught a monkey to understand the politics of the median voter, and it shot itself. It's like, who thought, who was out there? I gotta meet the girl who was like, my feminist hero is Alex Cooper.
We're talking, her audience is a younger group of women, and the little boys that they're around, the clips of that they're getting served are men talking about women they should get voting rights taken away, all this shit. You can't get an abortion in half the states. And then you see this girl, and then all this stuff about being a virgin until you're married and all this fucked up shit. And of course you see Alex Cooper talking about sucking the whole world's dick and all her sexcapades, and then she meets the love of her, and she builds a business, and she gets the highest, she is the highest paid female podcaster in America. She got $130 million deal with SiriusXM. That's the thing. It's like, you're like, who is? I'm like, a lot of people are. And also, she intentionally is marketing herself that way.
Yeah, she interviewed Kamala. She did some stuff around, abortion rights. She has kind of aligned herself with the center left, certainly. Yeah. She's not, out here at, Zoran rallies or anything like that. But, she's kind of positioned herself as, a center left figure. And I will say, we will meet some of the girls who believed that, and they ended up having a really bad time in the workplace. Yeah. So a huge part of the article focuses on Alex's husband and Unwell co-founder, Matt Kaplan, who we've been talking about. A lot of the rest of the article, I'll just say, is a lot of stuff we've already covered on the pod.
Got him.
So it's a lot of how she came up, the story of Call Her Daddy. We have a whole Patreon about that. And then it goes into a lot of the Alex Earle drama.
And the Sophia Franklin.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about the Alex Earle.
Yeah, Alex Earle, yeah.
So it goes into a lot of the Alex Earle drama. And what's actually interesting is the author who wrote it, Clara Malott, she talked to over 40 sources, 30 of whom were former Unwell employees. And she starts saying basically that, she was working on this as the Alex Earle drama started to unfold. So then other news outlets started to, get this scoop a little bit. And, we talked about it on the pod because I think it was Business Insider published a thing about how Matt Kaplan was an asshole and was, yelling at his employees. So it's just interesting. I think, there's an extent to which this Vanity Fair writer was like, well, shit, I've been working on this for a really long time, and is, a bunch of my stuff going to come out?
Yeah.
But she definitely has a lot more details. She has a lot more sources. It's a huge expansion on the stuff that Business Insider was saying. So basically, she talked to former employees and also contractors. They said Kaplan is aggressive, intimidating, inappropriate. Allegations of yelling, threats, uncomfortable comments, blurred boundaries. They have disputed this.
Yes.
Kaplan and Cooper have disputed this.
They're not going to be like, yeah, we did that.
Yeah, that's
They're going to be like, we didn't do that.
The big thing is, it seems like Matt Kaplan is just, always berating their young female employees, because it is a lot of young women who came to work there because they idolize Alex Cooper, and they, believed that she wanted to create, better working conditions for women. And then they get there.
Her entire first scandal was fighting so fucking hard to stay at Barstool.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You know what?
He invented that tone of workplace.
I know, but the Barstool thing is that's not a simple. That was something that we covered on the pod, and so it's hard because all these things have been really muddled. The Barstool thing is you could see both sides of I could see why she wanted to, but ultimately it is Barstool. Yeah. And Barstool and Dave Portnoy and all those racist frat guys fucking suck. And that's, whatever.
I think that I'm kind of developing a theory of Alex Cooper because she was a very, a D1 athlete in soccer. Yeah. And even though it was women's soccer, so she was around other women for that, and it's a whole thing in the documentary that she has because her coach harassed her and whatever. The point is, I think she comes from this like kind of hard-nosed like masculine ethos, even though she was like a women's sports player. I still think that like is in there. And then I think she is someone who's maybe easily able to parlay with like the Barstool guys. I think she wouldn't call herself a guy's girl now, but I think she might have a little bit of that attitude. That translates to being attracted to a guy who treats his employees this way. And I think I feel like she thinks an environment where people are being really hard-assed and yelling and being dicks is like okay.
Yeah, I think again,
100%.
yeah, just like our theory that we came up with is that she was this D1 athlete and she took like that career got cut short because her coach was harassing her. But it's like she's taking that kind of hard, aggressive mentality where a coach is fucking yelling at you and getting into your head and all that shit to media.
Yeah.
And like, of course, if you have that kind of an athlete's level of discipline to entertainment and media, you're gonna succeed. But then, yeah, maybe you have a higher tolerance for people yelling and like this. It is very much that toxic Hollywood. Your manager's gonna yell and berate you, but like this is how you pay your dues or whatever. And like I don't care, whatever. They're not getting physically hit or something.
Especially because of what she went through at Barstool, which is like, this is like on a much smaller level, but I think any female comic my age looks at how, I mean, we've split in comedy, right? Like, and then half the scene regressed and half progressed. And when you see how like certain challenges that maybe we went through are not present for like the younger girls, and there's that tiny, and you keep it locked, obviously, you're like, I'm so happy, that's great that it's different now, but there is always going to be a tiny twinge of like, you didn't have to go through what I went through, and you probably wouldn't be able to hack it going through what I went through. And that's 100%. You work for Dave Portnoy as you're coming up, and then you're expected to like be HR perfect for these roles.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you don't like it when your boss yells at you. My boss was Dave Portnoy. Like, you're totally right. And I think that's a common thing between like as feminism makes progress, I think like it's probably a thing in a lot of different movements. I think I've heard of it with like the queer community and stuff too, where it's like, you didn't have to go through what we went through. Like, you didn't have to lose all the people that we had to lose and like all that stuff. Like, I think it's a common feeling of like wanting the progress and being happy for the progress, and also having this weird internal resentment of like not being able to benefit from it yourself when you were young.
Well, I think too, like, that is kind of the thing about being a marginalized person in any community, and like that's where we get into the American individualism and all that shit of thinking like, well, I had it hard, so it's like, yeah, but you know what, your mom had a harder work life and everyone had it harder before you, so it's like, how can we cope and all that stuff. And I mean, not to go back to socialism, but like one of the biggest things and markers of Bernie Sanders of it all is like, will you plant a seed for a tree that you're not going to sit under the shade of? And like, that is what it is. You know what I mean? But there's so many people would be like, no, fuck that. But aside from that, a lot of the complaints too, it's not just yelling. It's also Matt being like, how many guys have you fucked this weekend?
Yeah, so let me get into that stuff.
Yeah,
so a lot of the complaints, they're kind of two categories. One is like him berating employees in general, like going off about really small mistakes. He reportedly called someone the R word, speaking of the different types of comedy that exists now, like people obsessed with bringing back the R word. He used to call female employees his little sisters, which I feel like is just off. I don't like anything that's like, we're a family here. I think that mentality is only ever used to like make people do work for no money. It's very rarely like the opposite way where they're like, oh, well, because we're a family, we're going to give you this time off.
There are entire segments of therapy that are just dedicated to people overcoming the exploitation and abuse from their family. So in many ways, maybe this is
Maybe
like
it is. Yeah, I guess it's like depends. I guess it depends on the type of family. But this is a direct quote from the article. Several women say that in addition to experiencing Kaplan's yelling, they struggled to make sense of what appeared to be playful flirtation from their boss's husband, who was also their boss. In a workplace where talking openly about sex had always been part of the founding vision, multiple women recall Kaplan asking about their sex lives. I've heard him in the office be like to employees, who did you have sex with this weekend? Says one former employee. He'd be like, what did you do this weekend? Who did you fuck? another recalls. Several describe him commenting on their physical appearance, remarking on whom he found hot or overweight, and noticing how their clothing looked and fit. Others describe instances when they felt Kaplan stared at them too long, or when a hand on a thigh or the back of the neck lingered. So he's doing creepy boss shit, and I think he's kind of using the guys that call her daddy as this raunchy sex podcast, and the idea of Unwell Network, I think, is to be in that ethos of like, we'll talk about anything and blah, blah, blah. I feel like he's using that to be like, well, that's just how we talk here.
Yeah, but you're a man.
Yeah, and you're not on the mic, and you're not a talent. You're not talent talking on a podcast. You're a man in an office talking to your employee.
Yeah. The whole Alex Cooper of it, yeah, Dave Portnoy was her boss. That guy's, again, like what I said, was if Lady Whistledown was a 50-year-old gambling addict,
yep,
that's Dave Portnoy.
Yes.
Of course she's heard all kinds of stuff from Dave, and she's like, well, this guy's not as bad as Dave.
Yeah.
What are these girls complaining about?
Exactly, and so that gets into the second, I would say, like, major bombshell allegation of this. So it's like all this stuff about Matt Kaplan, but then I think there was some sense of like, okay, but what if Alex Cooper doesn't know that this is going on? Or like, how involved is Alex Cooper? How much does she know? Former employees allege that Kaplan would yell harsh things at staff when Cooper was present, and that Cooper would not step in. So that includes like, yeah, calling people stupid, threatening their future careers. And this is a bigger deal because a lot of women who applied said that they applied because they love Alex Cooper, and they do think that she's this savior of female podcasting, and then she's standing there letting her husband fucking yell at you. And it becomes pretty clear throughout the article that like the employees are afraid of Alex and Matt. Yeah. It's not like they're like, oh, Alex is nice, but Matt is scary, but she just doesn't know and we can't say anything. People are afraid of both of them. Like, here's another quote. Matt creates the most toxic work environment I've ever seen, says someone who worked with Unwell on a freelance project, describing how they witnessed Kaplan repeatedly making young female employees cry as he berated them for minor mistakes, such as putting balloons in the wrong place at an event or underestimating how long it would take to upload video footage. And it's hard to estimate how long it'll take to upload video footage. You never know.
You never know. You think it's going to be 2 hours? It takes 18. And then
you think it's going to be 5 minutes? It takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be 2 hours? It takes 5 minutes. You don't know. There's no way to know.
Matt, so suck a dick.
Especially if you're doing it on the fly, like if they're at events and they're on like the Wi-Fi that's, you know what I mean? Like let's say they're at an event and they're doing like a podcast episode live and they're on the Wi-Fi that's for the venue. Like you don't actually know.
The thing is, Alex Cooper's asking a Mormon housewife like how many times she's fucked her husband in the ass or something. Mm-hmm. Like, this isn't groundbreaking stuff. Like, you don't need to be calling a 20-year-old the R word because she doesn't have a fucking footage of the Dances with the Star 5th cut person out on time.
Yeah,
like,
talking about how she thinks it was rigged. Like,
yeah, how she thinks it was like, I think we can chill out a little bit, guys.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. This isn't a military operation.
Yeah, this isn't. And guess what? Those aren't run well either.
No.
Right now. Actually, Matt Kaplan is probably a better boss than Pete Hegseth, but that's beyond the point. That's beyond the point.
Okay, I have one final tidbit about like the culture, and then I want to get your thoughts on if you think Alex Cooper, how you think Alex Cooper handles and plays this situation. But I just thought this was interesting. This was a part of the article too. This is the author. Several people I reached out to wondered if I was a plant sent by Cooper and Kaplan to sniff out press leaks. I was advised by a source, jokingly or not, to change my passwords and to scrub what I could from the internet. So it's like people are afraid of them.
Matt Kaplan, To All the Boys I Loved Before, killer Netflix series. To All the Boys I Loved Before, that's Jenny Yang. Jenny Yang has a killer Summer I Turned Pretty biggest series last year on Amazon Prime. Now we're talking Netflix Prime. Alex Cooper signed $122 million deal with SiriusXM, has an overall deal with Hulu. Now that's 5 streaming channels. We can keep going on all their ties with everything. The Hannah Montana special, that's fucking Disney Channel. Now they're talking Disney, ABC, Hulu. It's not completely... And these are petty people who are, like, talking about how, like, fat you are and who you fuck. Like, Alex Earle is MAGA and cringe and all this stuff. But, like, look at how they did Alex Earle. and
Yeah.
she ain't a nobody. So it's like, of course I would be scared without these two evil people together have joined forces to make sure I never work again. I'm a 22-year-old girl who went to prom on Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. So final thoughts, do you think, how do you think that Alex Cooper comes out of this? Or like, what would you, if you were her PR people, what would you advise?
I mean, I think that Alex Cooper courted a audience that is not moral purists.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like she's ever taken a hardcore, positive, progressive stance. I mean, interviewing Kamala Harris is one thing, but they didn't talk about policy, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. Like, they didn't talk about any of the few policy moments where Kamala was taking a hard progressive stance, like on the actual, I think abortion is probably the only case, but again, I think that ultimately, like, she's a bad person, but anyone who was already a fan of her 2 years ago, I don't think this is going to be a deal breaker for them, because here's the ultimate thing. Those 20-year-old girls, and this is not victim blaming at all, what they went through is bad no matter what the context is. But some added notes is that a 20-year-old girl wanted to work for her, walked into a workplace of, like, vast majority white 21-year-old hot women. If you walk into a workplace, a media company, and are surrounded by people who look exactly like you and are like even done up exactly like you, yeah, that's the corner of the world that you're.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I agree with you that, like, I don't know. I think this is a bombshell, report and all this stuff, but I don't know if it, like, hurts her in any substantial way right now. I feel like she needs an opponent. Like, Alex Earle was close, but Alex Earle has her own weird shit. Like you said, she has, like, MAGA allegations and all this stuff. I think she needs, like, a more formidable opponent.
She sued a company because they didn't like her pro-Israel stance, so she was, like, insane.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Earle, not Cooper.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, wait, we were talking about Earle this whole time?
No,
We're talking about Cooper.
No,
okay.
I just mean
Alex Earle is MAGA.
Is MAGA. Okay, got you.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is, like, I think that to truly take Alex Cooper down, I think she would need a more formidable opponent.
Yeah.
I don't think that Alex Earle quite had the juice to do it.
Certainly not, because the whole funniness of it, the whole, like, memeability of it is that it's two women who you cannot tell apart, who are both named Alex and who are both only famous within, like, an extremely, like, they're not famous by the standards of 10 years ago. They are only famous by today's standards, where everyone is grouped into an algorithm with people who are demographically exactly the same as them.
I don't know if I would say that Alex Cooper might have. I'm like, if John Mayer can go on her pod and get a 350% streaming bump on all platforms, that's a little bit more bigger reach than, like, this niche fame. But I also think Alex Cooper, this is my diabolical tinfoil hat, whatever.
Speak on it.
Because she just announced she was pregnant.
Right, yes.
And,
You think the baby's gonna take her down?
No, I'm wondering. This girl's interviewed 40 employees. They've probably known this story's coming for a while. Now suddenly she's coming out. I'm pregnant. I'm like, okay, girl. I'm clocking that shit.
You think she got pregnant as a PR stunt?
I think she announced the pregnancy.
She announced the pregnancy, like, right before, like, a week or two before this article came out.
Yeah.
She knew what the fuck time it was. I'm not saying she got pregnant for that. I'm not saying that she's not capable of getting pregnant, even if she has the baby. Like, the whole thing, which this is what Dave Portnoy said, is like, oh, Alex Cooper is such a savage. Like, she knew that, like, this article was coming out, and, like, now she's untouchable because she's pregnant. And if you go hard on a pregnant woman, you're an asshole.
I mean, there's something to that.
There's something to that. Yeah.
I think the way it would have worked is, like, I feel like, I mean, again, we had someone on this podcast say, like, a month and a half ago that this article was coming out. They definitely know that 30 former employees of their company have been being interviewed. So my guess would be that, like, most people wait a couple months to announce a pregnancy anyway. So this was probably, like, right in the line of the time when, like, she would have announced it, and they were like, let's just wait until we're scooping the article. I agree with that.
But no, okay. I agree. I'm saying conservatively that they at least plan the thing to PR. My deep, dark tinfoil hat thing is, where they start trying when they knew this article was coming out? That's diabolical.
So that would have had to be 9 months ago, though.
No.
The baby's not 9 months.
Oh, right, of course. I like
working?
me now. I'm like I couldn't do MC squared last week, and now I'm like, how long does it take to make a baby?
No.
But
when do you announce all this stuff? But I'm also like, if this girl had been working on this, because this girl's been working on this for months. When did we cover Earle versus Alex Cooper? That was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So she had been working already 1 or 2 months before that. I'm like, that's where my diabolical mind is. Like,
it's not impossible.
It's not
impossible.
I'm like, Alex Cooper, she's a go-getter, and she's going to get something done for better or for absolute worse. And that's where my mind is, because, again, she has that D1 college athlete, like, focus to her goals and dreams. She married the big Hollywood producer closer.
Yeah. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
I'm also obsessed with how, like, a lot of people, like, can't cope with their choices, and I never expect them to, because it would be impossible to, like, fully reckon with or be personally accountable to, like, there was a time pretty early in her career where she made a big choice to value money and her career over her theoretically closest friendship. And, like, she's never going to go back and question that choice. So it kind of necessitates for her to, like, build into that worldview. She, like, has to keep putting money before literally everything else. Because if she questions it at a certain point, then she has to, like, be awash in waves of guilt and accountability.
That is kind of the entire argument about there are no ethical billionaires. Like,
yeah, 100%.
To keep succeeding in this level of capitalism, you have to make, like, it has to be money over human connection by far. So it's like, yeah, of course. And there are a ton of people who believe in that and do that and all that stuff. She's not leaving shade. Maybe she's planting a seed for shade for whoever this person is that she's pregnant with. And, like, that's who she cares about.
Yeah.
And anything outside of that, she doesn't care about 20. Why would she, right? She built her shit. She made it from scratch all of a sudden, whatever.
The fact that we've gotten to takedowns of capitalism and there's no ethical billionaires means it is time for our final segment. I think we've reached the conclusion.
Yes, the natural conclusion.
So it is time for our final segment, Grasshole of the Week.
Our segment of the show where we pick a person, place, or thing that needs to log off the most. I think first, we're going to start heartwarming. We're going to do Grass Hero.
Oh, we have a Grass Hero.
And I think the Grass Hero is, someone who's using the internet right, who's bringing hope, optimism, all this stuff. And Grass Hero this week is an account called Freddie, at Freddie LA47, I think. And it's basically, there's this German guy who came to America to do the World Cup, and he's been road tripping through the South and taking pictures and being endeared by the things he's seen. And it's really fucking cute, and it went insanely viral on Twitter. We can go through some of his posts. This guy posted this. You want to read it, Hannah?
The best discovery of our road trip has been a musician called Ella Langley. We had never heard of her before, but after hearing her on pretty much every country radio station, we've become big fans. She's basically the soundtrack of our trip.
And it's like a German guy driving through this highway, and it has 5 million views, 114,000 likes. The next one, it's like he's just driving through Louisiana, and at least you want to read this?
Yeah, this video is of him driving through Louisiana. He says, the vibes are insane. Driving through the great state of Louisiana on our way to New Orleans. It's crazy how diverse this country is. Every day, the scenery looks different.
So it's like really cute posts that are romanticizing the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, there's this last one. Or not this last one.
But he's at Waffle House.
No. Yes. Read it and then read the comment.
Okay. Late night snack in New Orleans at Waffle House again. Unfortunately, we had to eat in the parking lot this time because they closed the dining area and only allowed takeaway. And then there's a response from Jennifer Joy 175. Pro tip, if you are in a place in America that the Waffle House closes the dining area at night, get the hell out of that area.
Yeah, so everyone's just being joyed. He's romanticizing Waffle House. Ella Langley found him, got him VIP tickets and like all his friends. So it's this really cute thing, and that's been this account, but also all over all TikTok, Instagram, you're seeing people come from different countries and like fall in love with America. Like go to this British guy went to an Italian sub place in New Jersey and like was so excited to eat the food, and it was like, wow, like, and then of course like this cute World Cup content on top of like the Knicks winning.
Yeah.
And like the fact that the Knicks, you know, it's 3-player, you know, one Puerto Rican Mexican player who was from literally the projects, a half Dominican guy, a Filipino, just this multicultural thing. It's just like, wow, America can be cool.
Yeah, oh my God. I mean, it is nice. Like, I saw some fun content because, like, they're playing at MetLife for the World Cup. There are a bunch of Europeans in New York right now who happen to be here, like, during the Knicks stuff. And I saw this one video of, like, I don't know where this kid was from, but like a Slavic child just having an amazing time. And like a bus is on fire behind him and this kid is just like, woo! And I'm like, we got one. We got one. He's a fan of the US of A for life.
There's such good vibes. For America at large, for patriotism, it does feel like we're building. It does feel like it's going to happen soon. I'm calling it right now. This is an official Go Touch Grass podcast prediction.
Wow.
I'm logging it on Calshi.
Wow.
Before the end of Slutty Summer 2026, it's going to happen.
You're saying Donald Trump is going to die?
I would never say that on a podcast.
And we're bleeping all of
I'm
that.
saying it's gonna happen.
I'm going to finally lose my virginity? Mm-hmm. No. No. Well.
That's crazy that you would say that and not put it behind the $1,000 paywall.
We were just clarifying. Nobody said that. Actually,
said
play
that.
the tape back.
Yeah,
no.
I wish
that.
him
That's
good
what
health
you're
and
saying.
longevity.
And you said no. And
So nobody said it actually.
But I am gonna say when it happens, my number is 9. I'm just kidding.
We're putting that behind the paywall.
Well, you guys for
All holes
$1,000
open,
I
no
don't know.
loads refused.
I actually don't know if us putting Hannah's number to a no loads refuse thing is considered sex trafficking. So we don't know if we're paywalling that.
Yeah.
We'll see. But guys, don't get too proud of America.
Right.
Because this is Go Touch Grass. We talked about our grass heroes. But now we got to talk about the grass holes.
Oh,
the
no.
people who need to log off. And I'm going to say, guys, we need MAGA to log off.
Wow.
Because as we are working hard to rebuild the reputation of America, and at the same time, it's being destroyed. Because there's a little thing called the 250-year ceremony.
Yeah.
And we're going to fucking talk about that. These people that are fucking up the vibe. So basically what you need to know, if you're not American and you're listening to this podcast, good for you. Good. First of all,
Welcome.
Good for you. We love you, and we love your effort to elevate Latino voices.
And are you single?
And
are you looking
single?
for a wife?
250 years ago, on July 4th, in 1776, then the Declaration of Independence was signed.
It certainly was.
And that's America's birthday.
And that's Hamilton.
And then that's Hamilton.
And that's what Hamilton is kind of about.
On June 14th, that's Trump's birthday.
Right.
And
Gemini.
Flag Day, but
Classic
who cares?
Gemini.
Who cares? But also June 14th is Donald Trump's birthday. Miss President over here said, why don't we have a joint birthday with America and Donald Trump? And that's what happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Next slide. They transformed the White House lawn
Oh, God.
and added a UFC dubbed arena called the Claw.
They added a UFC dubbed arena called the Claw. It's like
yes.
when we think about just like the degradation of every sacred American touchstone, all of our symbols, everything, I think a UFC fighting arena called the Claw on the White House lawn really takes the cake.
Donald Trump, to celebrate 250 years of America 2 years early so we can be on his birthday, had a UFC match inside an octagon, overshadowed by 92-foot steel beam called the Claw. So that's what that is. An estimated 4,300 people were present for the invite-only event on the South Lawn. So you got 4,300 of the top UFC and Donald Trump fans, which is probably a full circle. And another 85,000 were expected to watch at a nearby fan zone. The centerpiece of the drama was the Claw, a metal structure, 28 meters high.
Wait, sorry, he'll allow nearby watch parties for this, but not for MSG?
Right.
Well, speak
didn't
on
What
it.
about the
anybody-
Secret Service? Can't they secure the area?
Speak on it. The Claw weighs 600 tons and loomed over the octagon in which the fights happened. The night opened with Trump walking from the White House to the arena alongside Dana White, the head of the UFC. Let's watch the opening.
Okay.
And we'll watch, it's a 10-second video of the opening, and I just want you guys to tell me what you see.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's a bunch of people doing motorcycle tricks. I guess they're cool motorcycle tricks.
And there's like pyro, like techniques.
yeah.
too.
It looks like a Turning Point USA event.
sure. Now we're going to see a clip of the opening ceremony with Donald Trump and UFC owner Dana White walking to the White House.
Okay. Jets flying overhead.
The night opened with Trump walking from the White House along military planes that flew overhead. Anything that you guys think so far? Any thoughts so far of the Trump 250 before we get into what actually happened?
I can't stop thinking about what the social vibes are like there, because in my mind, everyone in that crowd has lead poisoning and breast implant illness. And like the contrast between the vibes of like all the Knicks celebrations that you see. I mean, what makes New York so great as a city is that it's fairly tough to be under socialized here. And so just in a lot of places where we're seeing people isolate to degrees never seen before, and that has a profound impact on the human brain, that's like less so happening here. But like, yeah, like I just remember like the person in my life who's MAGA is my dad. Rip, not in my life anymore. He's alive.
I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay. I like being like, my dad's not in my life anymore, and it's because he died.
But just like his vibes at a social event are always just like, why is the line so long to pee? Like there's no like authentic enjoyment of togetherness, and I'm just imagining like 4,300 of him in that stadium getting in fights because they don't have the perfect view.
The ring is sponsored by Bud Light. I don't know if you know that. All that blue around is the Bud Light logo.
Great. Oh, so Bud Light
Bud
really
Light
trying to win back their
MAGA.
population after they gave a single commemorative can to Dylan Mulvaney that one time.
Who we saw at a party once, and Dylan Mulvaney was really nice to us.
Yeah.
My friend met someone at a bar who was the person who pitched giving Dylan Mulvaney the Bud Light can.
Damn.
That person's was fired, obviously. 1,000 people were fired over that scandal. That person was like crying in a bar because my friend had just gotten a job in social media and was like, don't do what I did.
Oh my God.
That's so wild because it is like, again, it was a single can that was created specifically just to give to Dylan Mulvaney.
Everyone there knows that Trump fucks children and they don't care.
Yeah.
So, of course, they don't care about Bud Light, like Bud Light. A transposed person holding a Bud Light can once, like they're gonna say shit and they're ultimately gonna drink it because these people have no conviction on anything they mean. Speaking of conviction, they had 14 fighters compete, with 7 fights competing in back-to-back fights, culminating in the main event between two people whose names I'm not gonna even try to pronounce. The UFC spent $60 million on the event, including $700,000 for grass, hashtag go touch grass, for repairs on the lawn after they host.
Great.
Because they need the lawn repaired for the annual Easter egg roll.
Right.
So some more facts. The event was screened exclusively on Paramount Plus, which is run by Trump ally David Ellison. Last year, the UFC signed a $7.7 billion deal with the Netflix rival streaming service. So this is like on the White House lawn with Trump's best friend, Dana White, who owns the UFC, whatever, who has a thing with Paramount, who just was allowed to merge and, like, they greased Trump's wheels. They ended the fucking Colbert Show.
Yeah.
So that Trump can let them fucking make this Paramount. They're getting Warner Brothers merger.
Yeah.
The Guardian says the ultimate winner may be the UFC. Making it to the White House is a fist-pumping brand boost for a sport that was once shunned by sponsors and venues and denounced as, quote, human cockfighting by a U.S. senator. So a lot of brands don't like UFC because it's not family friendly. People will fucking get brutalized. And the White House just legitimized it. Administration officials, including Trump, have repeatedly praised the event, with the president referring to it as the greatest show on earth and comparing the Claw to Eiffel Tower in Paris.
That's awesome. You know what, though? This is actually just a fun fact. The Ferris wheel was actually invented as a response to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, because the Eiffel Tower was part of the World's Fair, and then the World's Fair came to the U.S., and we had it in Chicago, and we were like, well, we got to do something better than the Eiffel Tower. And then they were like, what about Mr. Ferris and his wheel? And then
So maybe we'll get a claw in every American
So it's
city.
like we already have an American version of the Eiffel Tower. It's the Ferris wheel.
If every person who wants to be a school shooter can go to their local claw and brutally fight, I think we have something here. Think about it, guys.
Third space.
Third
the claw is a
space.
third space.
The claw needs to be at third space. We need under-socialize. You want to shoot a bunch of people? Get your ass kicked in the claw first, and then get your gun license. So U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio this week lauded the UFC as the definite, quote, and I'm going to look at you, Elise, as a Cuban, international relations major. Marco Rubio said that the UFC is, quote, the definition of American soft diplomatic power. And announced the launch of a private-public partnership to use the UFC as a diplomatic tool.
Okay. Now, here's where does the UFC have international fighters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's always some guy from, like, Ukraine or from... The guys come from different countries.
Yeah.
It's like the scariest CTE-ist guy from every country.
But is it mainly U.S. based? I always thought this was like...
the games are based in the U.S. and played in the U.S., I think. But, like, the NFL and even WWE and all this stuff, they'll do matches. The NFL does a match every year in London. The UFC, like WWE, goes to more international markets. They're always in Saudi Arabia. So I could see UFC's trying to get to a WWE or whatever level. So then they're going to use the White House to do it. Trump and Dana White have both said that the UFC paid for the event, though the exact breakdowns of cost has been yet made to the public. So we'll see if we paid for the claw.
Yeah.
Did.
Oh my God. I wonder if we paid for the claw.
In a legal filing, the National Park Service said that the event was costing $60+ million and tens of thousands of hours of labor, noting that the 7 government agencies have, quote, allotted significant resources and manpower to this event, according to the Associated Press. And last week, UFC announced that it was adding World Liberty Financial, the cryptocurrency company co-owned by the Trump family, as an official partner for the event. The company will pay some bonuses to fighters in, quote, stablecoins.
Oh, like Bitcoin?
No, stablecoins, because it's more stable. So I'm going to get your reactions to that, and then we'll show final images, and then, yeah. So, guys, thoughts? Use of American soft diplomatic power, stable coins. Did we pay for this?
Couple of thoughts. First of all, I do feel like us using the UFC as like a diplomatic event and a show of American culture is a lot like in Game of Thrones when the Dothraki they were like camped outside of like regular Westeros people and they had their like soldiers fight to the death, and then the regular Westeros people were like, oh, so these people are crazy. And then second of all, you know how Taylor Swift does that thing where like anytime she has a bad like Google search, like Taylor Swift Jets, like she went to a Jets game and everyone was like, did she do this so that when people search Taylor Swift Jets, the like private
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I wonder
I
Maybe.
need you to know she's not a Swiftie, but she's a Swiftie centrist.
I would not put that past her.
I listened to the podcast.
Okay. I wouldn't put that past her. I think she does stuff like that.
I'm also a Swiftie centrist in the sense that I would never defend her, but I will know everything about her because she was a figure of my childhood.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I live as well.
I wonder if it being called the Claw has any positive benefit on Aziz Ansari's career. Massive rebranding moment for the Claw right there.
And maybe this is Trump taking one for the team for Aziz and saying like, hey, we don't want you to be canceled. Don't cancel culture here. We're going to call this the Claw.
Can we remind the listeners of the Aziz Claw?
I think you're
absolutely. I can remind the listeners of the Aziz Claw. Aziz, may he rest in peace.
We're no contact with Aziz.
Yeah, I want to be so clear that his career is thriving. He was not canceled for this. I think that's really important when we talk about it.
Yeah.
Because people do like to act like he lost his career over this, and that would maybe not be an unfair consequence for what he actually did, but he lost next to nothing over it. So I think it's a perfectly fair consequence. What happened was that there was an article in kind of the height of the Me Too movement / a moment of frenzy, perhaps. There was an article where a woman talked about how him being a profoundly inconsiderate sexual partner. He was not being accused of nor convicted of sexual assault nor rape, but it was talked about that he had a particular move where he would stick multiple fingers into a woman's mouth really hard, and she dubbed the movement the Claw.
Mm-hmm.
It was a memorable moment of the article for many of us.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe this was a ploy to get people to stop Googling the Claw. We're just going to look at some things that happened that night. This was one of the more memorable talking points of the night. So this is one of the fighters getting interviewed by Joe Rogan, I think.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America? Ladies and gentlemen.
That's what they
Jesus
were
Christ.
talking about on Twitter. I was wondering what the Michelle Obama, why she was being referenced on Twitter.
Oh, it's because in the middle of this Paramount Plus fight on the White House lawn using taxpayer dollars, one of the fighters, and Joe Rogan, most powerful podcaster in America, highest paid podcaster in America, one of the fighters goes to Joe Rogan and says, Michelle Obama is a man.
I thought what was going to be crazy about that clip when you were showing it to us, the reason I laughed was because I thought it was funny that you said Michelle Obama. I thought that was going to be the whole clip, was that he mispronounced her name in like a pretty silly way.
No, you laughed at the clip. You laughed at the Michelle Obama thing. And we're hereby canceling him. No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much for coming on our show. You've been canceled now. That's crazy.
Here's what I will say. Alex Cooper's politics, we don't really know them. We have questions. Yeah, she wouldn't stand up there with a UFC guy saying Michelle Obama's a man.
Matt Kaplan would kill Matt Kaplan would personally murder this guy before he got anybody near this girl.
MAGA does this really interesting thing with culture where they very much fight it in like a kind of old-fashioned, like they'll set up forts. And like one of the forts they set up was like they pushed to normalize the R word, and then they set up a fort there that shows that like this is one of our like key strongholds. Mm-hmm. And I feel that for the past several years, transphobia against specifically Michelle Obama has been one of those things that they're extremely pushing to like normalize that. And then that was the like build the fort moment. That we can say this and everyone can cheer for this, and this will be a bedrock dog whistle.
Yeah, and we can say this at the house she used to live in, and we can put it on national TV, and it's totally fine.
A woman who has 2 kids, like
the first black first lady. We can just say this on
she's
TV.
Just a man, and it's funny, and Joe Rogan thinks it's funny, and everyone's gonna pay him a lot of money. And then finally, guys, it wouldn't be the White House event if the fighting just stayed on the Claw. A fight broke out amongst the crowd, and there's a little fight about it. I mean, we don't even have to unmute it. We can just watch. But it says, this is from @MAGACult2, MAGA Cult Slayer. And it says, UFC fans brawl at the White House.
Okay, so you were wondering about the vibes. Oh, this girl is really getting in there.
Yeah.
She got the homeschooled hair.
Yeah. Wow.
So they're like legitimately fighting.
I can say that I was
on.
homeschooled, to be clear.
Yeah.
No, that was important. She got the
They're-
homeschooled hair. Is
the
crazy.
cops are really struggling to detain them. And that this is in the fan zone.
Wow, I'll say that was a very opposite energy of what was going on at the Knicks watch party that I was at.
There
That
was a
all
fight,
love.
there was a fight, and no one turned around to look at them or film it.
Because they rather watch this other fight.
That's how you know that the vibes there suck. There's
Yeah.
a fight right in front of you,
Let me
and you're
tell you.
staring at a screen.
Yeah.
I saw two gay guys fighting on Knicks night, and that was great.
And it was awesome, and
And
you
it was
pointed your
awesome.
phone at it.
And then I was like, whoa, guys, what's going on?
You guys are so obsessed with the surveillance state, you're forgetting the origins of the surveillance state is World Star.
Yeah.
Wow. And speaking of World Star, right? When we're talking MAGA needs to log off, we're talking, right, Trump 250, we got embarrassed. We're
Yeah.
embarrassed. Everyone's like, what the fuck is going on in America still? And then finally, you're like, oh, just on the White House lawn? What about MAGA people who weren't there? I would say almost every MAGA person got weird for Donald Trump's birthday. We have our Grasshole Hall of Famer. I just want to show you what she posted on her Twitter, and we'll go through, and then that's it.
Oh, Nicki.
Oh, Nicki.
Oh, Nicki.
Okay, I have a bigger, blown-up version of each of these pictures,
Okay.
but
well,
You
first,
know that tweet that was like me hearing Monster for the first time? I'm going to respect every artist in this song forever.
and then yeah.
And
so
then it gets
you can
really
flip
tough.
through. So she
Okay.
posted 4 pictures, and why don't you flip through, Elise, and describe
Yeah.
what we're seeing?
So she posted 4 pictures with the caption, "Happy 80th birthday, Mr. President." These have 15.4 million views at the time that they were screenshotted. First, we have an AI-generated image of her as Marilyn Monroe and him smiling. Next, we have an AI-generated image of the two of them wearing like black hoodie-type parkas. They're standing outside, and it says, "Real, recognize real."
Important.
And they're kind of both staring at the camera, like looking kind of like,
His face is so textured.
yeah,
In
they.
this, it looks like, what the fuck?
And hers is completely smooth, but
I
the
know.
AI picked up on a lot of texture for the Trump
Donald
face,
Trump.
and almost none for her face. But yeah, it's them staring at the camera, looking sort of menacing, cool, and it says "Real, recognize real." Then we have an AI-generated cartoon of the two of them. This is
A reenactment of that real meme of them holding hands. With the
yeah. This is because I can tell she's wearing the outfit that she was wearing when she went to meet him. So this is just the kind of the two of them in like a cartoon style.
Yeah, it's kind of like giving AI claymation Funko Pop, because the heads are a little big.
It's Funko
Yeah.
Pop for sure.
It looks like a Funko Pop.
inspired. Yeah.
It's Funko Pop inspired. And then we have an oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, what is it? Describe it.
Okay, so we're looking at Trump throwing up a white power symbol.
Is that a white power
It
symbol?
is.
It is. In
I
the
thought this was a booty
passenger
hole.
seat he's wearing cherry blossom skinny jeans. Nicki Minaj is in the well it looks like his hand is on the wheel, so maybe it's a mirrored photo. Nicki Minaj is in the passenger seat.
I think the AI is confused here because the way that the photo is positioned, Nicki should be driving, but
Yes.
Donald Trump's arm is extended in a way that makes it seem that
and
he is driving.
also
Maybe they're in
Nicki's
London.
face has accidentally been replaced with the face of Clark from Love Island USA.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh my God.
yes.
That's so true.
Additionally,
She does look like
in
Clark.
the
Looks like Jordan
back
Woods.
seat, we have Elon Musk wearing a sort of luxury-looking pink. Well, they're all wearing pink sportswear.
But
yeah.
his is like it looks like a Louis Vuitton tracksuit, but it's
It's
X
Gucci.
branded. Oh, or it looks like a Gucci tracksuit, but it's X branded.
I
with a
think
big chain with an
with
X
X,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then next to him is Sydney Sweeney with
Yes.
a bob, famously Sydney Sweeney with a bob, and her tits are not visible
No.
Wow.
at all. Because I
Nikki
think
said,
Nicki
"Don't put her
would've
tits in
gotten
it."
jealous
I'm the
for
only one with
sure.
big titties in the picture.
And she looks angry. Elon looks like he pooted.
This is insane to think about what she wrote into ChatGPT to create this image.
Mostly because that is not Nicki Minaj's face.
Yeah.
That does not look like Nicki Minaj.
Why
Even-
these 4? I mean, I know why these 4, but like the inclusion of Sydney Sweeney really sent me.
Well, I always think of Republican makeup as underliner and not top liner. And that's what's going on with Sydney right now.
Yeah, they actually, like, they gave Sydney kind of like a Fox Newsy makeup and hair look. She did have a bob for a while, but there's something going on.
Because her extensions now look crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
guys, so now you know why I say MAGA should log off.
Yeah,
Any
Nicki.
final thoughts on anything we talked about?
It's gonna happen before the end of the summer.
Okay.
By daylight savings time, it will have happened. Watch this space.
Wow.
And that's a prediction on something.
And
We don't know what that's
prediction on-
predicting.
We have no idea what
We
we're
have no idea
predicting.
what that's predicting. I'm going to think about this image of Trump, Nicki Minaj, Elon Musk, and Sydney Sweeney in matching pink ensembles for a while.
Yeah.
Trump's cherry blossom jeans in this are crazy.
They are.
And his jacket says golf.
Yeah, it's a Nike jacket that says golf.
I'm just thinking about Nicki Minaj sitting at the computer typing in the
Ignoring her
prompts.
son. Her husband's
yeah.
using her credit card.
And
she has a son.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't ask her what she was doing on his birthday because she was tweeting at Cardi B for 16 hours.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about this image.
Well, guys, for the crime of embarrassing America, bringing the vibes way down, despite all of our efforts, and for the crime, Nicki Minaj, what's going on? Get help, but all of MAGA needs to go touch grass.
And that's our episode.
And that's our episode, Hannah. You fucking killed it.
So great.
Thank you so much.
Such
for
a delight.
coming. Where can we find you?
You can find me on every platform at Hannah Jones Cool. And if you go to hannahjonescool.com, you can find specifically my mailing list. If you'd ever want to see my stand-up comedy live, the best way to do that is to type your city and your contact info into my mailing list. And then, yeah. Thank you so much, guys. This was so fun.
You are such a delight. Guys, you can find me at Pandalise on Instagram, at Elise Navidad on TikTok, and this podcast at Go Touch Grass Pod on everything.
You can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and TikTok, and at Millie Tamaris on Twitter. And until next time,
Go touch grass!